This video shows how to sharpen a long hollow ground slicing knife. The hollow ground part of the knife is designed to help prevent food from sticking to the knife to reduce friction when cutting. To make the knife sharp enough to slice through a ripe tomato, I use various grit whetstones which need to be soaked in water before they are used. I store mine in a stone pond or soak the stones I am going to use at least an hour before I start. To flatten a whetstone, rub it against fine grit wet sandpaper on a flat surface like a piece of heavy glass. If there are nicks in the blade, the metal around the nicks will need to be ground down to match, so I would use a 250 grit stone to remove the metal faster. But to restore the edge on a knife in good shape, I start with a 1000 grit stone and use a stone holder with a rubber base to help stop the stone from moving around as I apply pressure. The hollow ground areas of this knife have been ground down to a 15-degree angle to match the edge over the years, so what I need to do to sharpen this knife is to follow the sharpening work I've already done before. To help find that angle, use a felt marker to highlight the edge to make it easier to see. Following the same motion across the length of the stone, gently press on the edge of the blade to create even pressure as you grind the edge flat. Using the marker allows you to see where the metal is being removed, so you can easily find the areas of the edge that need more attention. Try to do the same number of strokes on each side, and when the edge comes together and a burr forms, it is time to switch to a smoother, higher grit stone. A 4000 grit stone is used here to remove the marks left by the 1000 grit stone, which in theory will not remove as much metal and take at least 4 times as long to remove the high spots. So having an assortment of stones with different grits is a matter of preference, but each stone is treated the same way and needs to be flat. Once the burr is formed using the 4000 grit stone, you can go back and forth along the stone a few times to quickly remove the burr. At this point your blade should be razor sharp, but I like to finish with an 8000 grit stone. The highest grit stone you use can also be used to polish the remaining surface of the blade to create a fancy mirror finish. However, removing the layers of metal along the sides of the knife will change the shape of the knife over time, so you probably do not want to get carried away with a softer stone unless you want to change the shape of the knife. A good test to see how sharp your knife is to slice through a ripe tomato using very little pressure.